Hey, what's up YouTube? You already know it's AllCity Live TV and thank you for tuning in. Today we're going to be talking about whether or not Hall of Fame defensive badges are actually overkill in NBA 2K20. All too often I'm equipping Hall of Fame badges, but my player is not necessarily playing Hall of Fame defense. Let me know if this has happened to you out there where you work on getting a ton of defensive badges, and I'm talking about my finisher build, my 6'9 finisher build inspired by the Laker fan build, the Laker fan finisher build. I have super fun with that build on offense, but on defense sometimes he seems a bit sluggish, sometimes he doesn't react to getting rebounds or getting those blocks, and he's extremely agile with a good amount of vertical on him. I picked the speed and vertical pie chart from my finisher build, so one of the things that I really liked about creating this build was how agile he was, how responsive he was initially. I started getting my badges up. I noticed when I put them at the Hall of Fame level that I was not necessarily playing Hall of Fame defense. So that left me thinking, I gotta get into the mind of the developers. What are the developers thinking when they're allocating badges amongst different players and playing styles? So I went into, of course, I go into the roster creator to start checking out badges for some of the best defenders out there. So let's talk about the cover athlete for NBA 2K20, one of the best defenders in the NBA, Anthony Davis. I go into his player card, and what do I notice? On his defensive badges, he has gold badges. So the reason why I find this interesting is because I got so frustrated on stream yesterday playing defense that I said, you know what, we're gonna start dropping badge levels because Hall of Fame isn't necessarily giving me what I want. So what do I got to lose? And I started dropping some of the main badges down to gold on yesterday's live stream, and sure enough, my player became way more responsive and aggressive on defense. If this has happened to you, again, please let us know in the comment section below. It was noticeable for me and is documented for me on live stream yesterday. I started going into, the mind of the developers in the rosters and how they allocate these defensive badges amongst some of the best defensive players out there. And I noticed that gold badges seem to be the key for some of the top-notch defenders out there. You see Anthony Davis with a gold box, gold brick wall, gold chase down, heart crusher, intimidator, gold pogo stick, everything gold. This is not necessarily the only one. Let's talk about another defender. Let's talk about Giannis. Let's see what Giannis got going on. What do you guys think would be as far as like the defensive badges for Giannis? We go into his. He has 18 defensive badges, gold across the board. I mean, like, what is 2K thinking when you create a top-notch defender out there and you attempt to equip Hall of Fame badges thinking that you're gonna play at a Hall of Fame level, aggressive defense, whether you equip them at the perimeter for perimeter defensive badges or interior defensive badges? You're thinking when you put a badge to Hall of Fame that you're gonna play at the Hall of Fame level for that particular badge. But that doesn't seem to be the case, and I think it's more about creating a balance, and I think that's what 2K is trying to kind of explain to me here when I'm looking at the player cards for some of the best defenders out there. He has gold chase down, gold clamps, gold intimidator, gold pogo. And I know, and he's more 6'11 build. He's at 6'11, my player is 6'9, which means if I have these type of badges equipped, I should be way more agile in my movement, my defensive, like my lateral quickness, my speed, everything is faster, so everything should be way more responsive. So I think gold is looking like it's the way to go. We're gonna check another player card like Tim Duncan, for instance. Let's go into his card, gold across the board. As you guys can see, 2K is trying to tell us something, and it seems like gold is the way to go for your defensive badges. And I think this is relative to the particular builds that you have, because if you look at some of the player guards for some of the taller defenders, let's say like David Robinson, and I was looking at like all-time greats, some of the taller defenders like Shaq, they have defensive badges that go up to Hall of Fame. But when you go to some of the shorter defenders like Tim Duncan, like Giannis, like Anthony Davis, it seems that gold is the way you want to go. And it looks like The way things are moving in NBA 2K20, people are leaning towards smaller centers. And when you create a smaller center out there, you may want to consider spreading your badges out and equipping gold badges for your defensive badge setup. I hope you guys found this video helpful and informative, and if you did, please consider subscribing to our channel, as we're gonna have a ton of NBA 2K20 content coming your way. I'll catch you guys on the next video.